or self-employed.
or self-employed.
Hmm. And then apparently it's a difference between being self-employed and an entrepreneur.
Is it?
Yes.
At that point, you've mastered the business part of it too, or something.
Yeah, entrepreneurship is marketing and sales and being able to scale your business. Self-employed is going to work for yourself. you know? Yeah. Entrepreneurship is next level. We call it all, we talk about them interchangeably, we call it all the same thing. One thing I was gonna say is I think it'd be dope somehow to create a recap for each Monday that happens
Mm.
throughout the week.
Mm-hmm. And like, what you mean?
To touch base and talk about Monday's meeting.
Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday,
Mm-hmm.
and a live or a
Yeah.
conversation or
Yeah.
a text message.
Yeah.
So then it becomes tangible or a thing.
Yeah. And it'd be dope for it to be like a live discussion. Something that could be shared and broadcast, even if it's a Twitter space, whatever it is, where a
They
group
watch
a
us.
group of us could chop about Monday, and then it's shared to a broader audience. Because what's happening is I get to have a recap with almost everybody. Me and Allie talk about it. Me and London talk about it. Sometimes me and Lou will talk about it. I usually will talk about it to my mom.
But is anybody else sharing it in these other worlds?
Right? Yeah. No. Not at all.
Got you.
People using whatever information,
For
but
their benefit.
yeah. But the recap would be raw. Yeah.
Like a Friday dinner or a specific day where we.
Yeah. We recap. It'll be
Which
beneficial.
it definitely be beneficial, but I was just about to say it'll give more days towards the project, which also will be raw.
Right.
Because you don't take away from the time that you have for that space, you add to.
Right. Yeah. So I just wanted to put that out there
Yeah.
because the recap is a focused version of what happens on Monday.
Very intentional, very
I
to
hit
the
all of
point.
the points. You know.
Mm.
Right. It's like the summary.
Which is very interesting to people that attention span is small or.
Yeah. I mean, but it is. We could easily do it in a way where it's like we do it to create long form content.
Gotcha.
So 1 hour recap turns into
Live on everybody pages.
yes,
Turns
and
into.
then it's an hour, but then it can be documented and cut up and redisseminated for short form platforms.
But
That's
I feel like.
really how you do it. You document, you create content for long form, and you cut up the long form into smaller parts and pieces versus creating short form content.
Going straight for the big one so you can cut that down versus trying to reuse the little ones.
Right.
Yeah, that reminds me of tonight's conversation.
What's that?
The the long form paid his money to get the subscription to see these videos, but then on Instagram you can swipe through conversations that make you feel like, okay, I want to know what they're talking about. I want to engage more.
Yeah, because Instagram is marketing
The other thing,
the other thing.
which is the channel that you got to pay for in order
Yeah.
to listen to the whole conversation.
Yes. Yep.
And then at that point, it becomes from 6 people to hundreds and thousands and millions.
Yeah, because if you only stay on the Instagram page and you love it, you are sharing it, You're liking it, you're commenting, you're saving it, which means that's social media. So you're helping this other person's page grow based on your attraction to it. All they got to
Mm-hmm.
do is put it there for you to see the 30 seconds, the 20 seconds, the 10 seconds, the 1 minute clip.
From this 2 hour long
Right.
weekly conversation.
Yeah. And by the time somebody listening to the 2 hour conversation, they also trying to figure out where's the book, where's the conference, where's the seminar, where's the mastermind group, where's the submission, where's the course. You feel what I'm saying?
How do you get engaged?
Yeah. So
Cause it,
it's called a value ladder.
that's the 50, 100, 200. That's taking it up the next level from where we already at.
Exactly. Exactly. And Instagram, TikTok, these short form content platforms is what you get for free. And then they rope you in, you get the newsletter, but you got to exchange your email address for the newsletter. So now you're getting the emails. So it looked like you got that newsletter for free. No, you exchanged your social media social security number,
Which is your app.
which is your email. Because the
Um,
email is behind your username. Your email is in the phone. Your email is connected to your cell phone, it's connected to your usernames, it's connected to the tower. So this is how they can market to you based on a conversation that you're having with somebody else, something
mhm.
else popping up in somebody's phone, because what's linking us is the email address. We don't think it is, but we subscribed to all these different platforms, all these different entertainment channels, all with the same email address.
Right.
The email address is the social security number.
That's crazy.
Right. So it ain't magic how all this is happening. It's the email address.
And as well, would they be able to, like going back to the monthly subscription or them getting involved with the thing, then they get the feeling wheel. Then they get the things that we didn't created to make it tangible too.
Exactly. Exactly. So it's like if we could do if we met all over again, all of the conversations, all of the education would be documented with a small group of people. And then all this stuff would be created off of this small group interaction and being able to be shared with a broader audience. See, a lot of times with education and art and young people and teaching, they want you to affect more people. They want you to have more students and grow the numbers. And how can you expand this? Well, now you can still work with what's needed, a small group of people,
Mm-hmm.
which is 12 people or less.
Sounds like us.
Document what's happening, share and disseminate, create products that hold the experience, what people are learning, and exchange that with a bigger audience and focus still on the small cohort. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
And it's crazy that you can see that. Normally, I don't think.
Right, like,
Hello.
right.
But that,
Yeah, because ultimately, I know. I mean, I wasn't on Instagram when I first got to New Bridge. I think Instagram started when I first got to New Bridge,
was
like
it 20,
2010,
2011, 2012, something like that.
somewhere in there.
So if you could do what you did in all of these places on this thing,
Well, what I can do is I can do it over.
those conversations, those experiences, those,
Yes, do it all over.
and then that's just productizing your knowledge because ultimately it's
Yes,
all in your head and then becomes a thing that
because it's happening already. I ain't never stopped.
right
It just stopped, I guess, in the official way.
or in these,
In these places.
but it never stopped.
But it never stopped. So it's like, oh, okay. So now we just need to organize it again.
And this gonna be the bigger, broader.
Yeah.
Because this is an endless possibility
Yeah, this is
versus the
endless.
people including versus the.
Right. Yeah. I think the goal, I think the name of the game is small group of people.
Definitely. But then
Forever.
it won't take the engagement that we're already creating
Yeah,
to
don't get
bring more people,
diluted.
to bring more people in to do this other thing. That's also smart as fuck.
Yeah.
Because even if we go up, we won't go up more than 12, which will still make it comfy for the people that's engaging in this space.
Yep. Yep. And when it's supposed to be 500 people, 1,000 people in the audience,
They watching us do that same thing.
yes.
These are conversations that we're supposed to be having. That's crazy.
Yeah. So it's looking like clearly Tuesdays is the day to talk about entrepreneurship.
Mm-hmm.
And based on the conversation I had earlier, it's a lot of people who don't understand how to use social media to be an entrepreneur.
Oh yeah.
You know,
Especially like the people that get mad at you for unfollowing them.
definitely the people who get mad at you for unfollowing them. They really don't understand.
You know what I mean? 'Cause, you know, yeah.
But it what did I talked to Lou earlier. She said, but I had stuff for sale on social media and didn't know how to make stuff sell. I didn't know how to make money. And I say, right, because there's strategies to making money.
Mm-hmm.
It ain't just having something for sale. You know what I'm saying? It's just like a lot of artists think, a lot of visual artists think that if they make something and they put it on the wall and they put a price on it, that's what'll make it sell. It's putting the price on it.
Ain't it?
Putting the price on it ain't what make it sell.
It's building the audience.
Well, it's really telling a story, taking people on some kind of a journey. You know what I'm saying?
That's the giving them the experience and making them feel some of these needs or
Yes, and then
the
they want to buy the thing to exchange that represents the experience that they had. I mean, when I'm thinking about it, in a very short period of time, I've experimented with multiple products online to see if I can make them generate money.
right. But you was already generating money with these products outside of there, so did it make it easier?
It was a it was a switch in language.
Got you.
You know, so it wasn't easy. It was having to relearn, like learn how to do it in the digital world.
Mm. So
You
technically, the thing that that we want to figure out too.
right, 100%. I mean, because let's say t-shirts. I knew what to do with t-shirts. I knew I
Mm-hmm.
needed to make t-shirts, go to where people are, show people the shirts, be ready to fulfill whatever it is they want, what size, what color, that kind of what quantity, and then exchange. The marketplace was a physical marketplace.
Mm-hmm.
Now the marketplace is a digital marketplace. So it's not as simple as just making something and putting a price on it. You still have to engage the way the marketplace engages.
Which is why you could do it every week or do something that keeps them wanting
And,
more,
and yeah,
engaged.
and engage. So when I got the second direct to garment and I'm experimenting with it and doing DTF, I'm practicing doing that stuff every day anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So now I just need to practice it with the new design and show everybody me practicing, but have the new design inside of a e-commerce store connected to Instagram. So when people see the new design and see me practicing, it's already one click away from them purchasing it because that is the strategy of digital economics. The least amount of clicks is what
Mm-hmm.
gets you a sale. my marketing material became me showing myself in the process. But that was also me selling a service.
Right.
So since I was selling a service, and then once I really started to study digital economics and productizing my knowledge, it's like, okay, I know how to sell a service. I need to learn how to sell the information that I've accumulated in developing the service that I offer.
One more time.
I needed to figure out how to, or what people need to do is figure out how to sell the knowledge they accumulated in being able to provide the service that they provide. So you got a thing you know how to do.
Mm-hmm.
You can get somebody to hire you to do that thing.
Yes.
But you knowing how to do that thing, you can take what you know and sell that and never have to do the thing again.
Right. Which is the all of the tangible things to not have to stand behind the chair and braid.
Exactly.
Teach the braiders.
Is to teach the braiders. Is to teach the information, the steps.
By giving them free things by
Or just by giving, you ain't gotta give them free things. It's engaging them with the information opposed to engaging them with the service. Because if you engage the service, you get hired for the service. If you show people you make t-shirts, people call you and they want you to make their t-shirt. If you sell your own t-shirt, people buy your t-shirt. You feel what I'm saying? If I show people that I'm making shirts for everybody, everybody wants me to make their shirt for them. If I show everybody that I make my own t-shirts, then people buy my t-shirt from me. It's a very simple, it's a very subtle shift. If I show everybody that I take pictures and can be hired, then everybody wants to hire me. If I show people my artwork exhibited, packaged up, framed, bubble wrapped, then people are trying to buy my artwork versus hire me for the service of taking pictures. Gotcha. People buy what you are selling to them. We don't know we're selling it to them, but it took me a minute to figure it out. Why is people only trying to hire me because they want me to do this for them? Mm-hmm. Because I'm showing physically that I know how to do it. But if all they saw was the thing made and done, then that's what it is I would be selling. That's what they would be buying. They would be buying the done thing, not buying into knowing somebody who knows how to do it.
So that's like you making your own t-shirts, wearing them, and then recording that process, sharing that so that they can want to buy your t-shirts versus you showing them that you do a thing only for the sole purpose of other people.
Yes. And one step further, showing other people buying it. Mm-hmm. Not me making it and wearing it. Me making it and showing that people buy these. See, these people got it. Everybody, is that.
Which is you gotta get one of these Cleveland Girl shirts because 100 girls got them.
Period. See, all these people got them. Marketing is giving it to all of the people and getting them to give a picture or a video in it so we can use that to tell everybody what we want them to do. See, all of the content, all of the marketing material is telling the customer what you want them to do. And if you don't purposely, consciously tell them what you want them to do, they'll have you doing what they want you to do. And sometimes we are chasing money to where we won't say, oh, I don't do that. So we get caught up into making stuff for other people, even if that ain't what we really trying to do. So you buy the equipment, you invest in the equipment so you can be a self-employed person, and you look up and you employed by all these other people because you're spending more time accepting what people want you to do than focusing on what you are trying to do for yourself, because you have the equipment and money is sitting there knocking at the door saying, hey, let me exchange your time for money.
I'm just trying to figure out how to flip that in the world that I'm in with the content that I make or the next step. Like I'm just trying to figure out how that relates.
Well, I think, well, how it relates is, one, you have the content and people are going to view the content the way you view it.
Right, which is why we all confused right now. Not necessarily,
What you
but
mean? Why we all confused?
because I feel like I'm everywhere, so I don't know what it is.
Oh yeah, that's why you confused.
Yeah.
And being everywhere ain't bad because you're gonna find yourself exactly where you want to be.
Once I play with all of it.
Yes. And you can play with all of it, or you can try to really internalize what it means to shift your perspective. If you really transition from seeing yourself as someone who offers a service, because money is going to keep telling you, give me that service. It's going to keep telling you that. That's what it's going to be communicating. That's what people are going to be calling for, because that's already been your marketing strategy.
Okay.
Hire me. Give me some money for my time, because my time is for sale.
Mm. What's the opposite of that?
Give me the money for the knowledge, because my time is precious.
That's crazy.
My time is so precious, I got to charge you more for my time. But if you want the knowledge that I have, oh yeah, you can tap into that right here, because that's really what I'm selling.
So it's
And once you can make that mental shift, you'll start to see the content that you have as just a complementary component to what's going to get people to buy your knowledge. You know what I'm saying? But you gotta keep doing what you're doing so you start to see your knowledge as more valuable than your service.
say that again.
If you spend enough time with it, you're gonna start to be able to see your knowledge as more valuable than the service.
Mm-hmm.
It was more valuable for me to teach you how to paint
Then what?
than you need me to come over there and paint it for you. Or you needing to hire me or hire anybody to paint it for you. The value is in knowing. So you can right now go paint for people right now because you have the knowledge.
Right.
But you also can sit down and write down all of the supplies, all of the steps, all of the techniques, all of the strategies.
And teach my little brothers how to paint or somebody else or
Right.
to continue to share the knowledge.
Yes. Because what I wrote up, because I realized this is what I'm supposed to be doing with my mom. My mom wants me to come and work for her. To me, it's more valuable to create a paint program, which I have with what I learned from her and what I've developed with myself, full framework, full list. That's more valuable than somebody coming and paying me for the time. I'd rather develop the paint program and figure out where to sell it, where to teach it. Because then we teach it in a small group of people, but we sell it and we teach it to a small group of people and show everybody that we know how to do this. And then we sell how to do it. Think about it. You go to any art store, it's how to videos.
Mm-hmm.
That artist ain't coming to Michael's. That artist ain't going to Joanne Fabrics. And if they are, they being paid and compensated to go to these places. That's the tour. You feel me? Like if you were a music artist, that's the tour. So they tour city to city to city to city. Some people pay for that tour, right? The time they spent with you is way more than the album you got to download. So they sell you that album for $15. You can listen to the music for free on the radio, but you can have it yourself for $15. Or you can get the time that they're going to share with you for a higher price. And now you can even pay more for VIP and backstage. That's the value ladder. Free is marketing to you to get you to pay for the least expensive thing. Now you can just download one song. It's going to cost you $1. But now you got this one song. Now you want to hear the album.
Now you got this product list.
Now you done bought the album.
It's crazy.
Now you on their website. Now you done bought their t-shirts. Now you follow them on Instagram. Now you watching all of their videos. Now you following their features. Now you going to the concert. Now you're following the concert. They dropped a new album. Now you going to the next concert. You obsessed with this person for 20 years. Now you paying for the exclusive take a picture with Chris Brown for a thigh wow.
Crazy.
You know what I'm saying? So the way this thing works, subconsciously, we already understand it. It's being able to get ourselves in a position to be able to see how it's working on us. So we can see what we know how to do in a similar way. Because once you can see it in a similar way, you realize that your videos is just B-roll footage to the knowledge that you've went and accumulated, that you went and invested in, that you continue to grow. Once you can see it, it's going to make it harder to only promote that you can hire me for this service. Mm-hmm. You will still be hired for the service because you enjoy what you do. But it's going to be hard not to see how to take advantage of the knowledge. People been selling knowledge forever. Right here. That's where they selling knowledge at. So it's really thinking through the list that we made. You talking to your younger self every time you put up a post. You don't got to switch the video. You just got to start to complement your videos with what looks like a classroom. Mm-hmm. Step 1. Step 2. Step 3. You know what I'm saying?
Now you want to come by this class.
Right.
Or this one-on-one virtual.
Yeah, or then you got people in your DM saying, do you teach this? So once people are asking, do you teach this? Where is the full video? That's how you know your content is shifting with your perception. Because that was my sign. I went from, look at what I know how to do. I'm better than everybody. You can't do this. I'm raw. Showing off, ultimately. To, can you look at my work? Do you teach this? Is it a full video to this? Can you send me the link? You know what I'm saying? And it didn't come in the form of likes and follows. Right. It's coming in the form of questions and shares and comments. And the goal is to make $1 per follower, $1 per follower per month. That's the goal. So it might look like you want 50,000 followers, but if you got 50,000 followers who just like everything that you're doing and not spending no money, is it worth it? Would you rather have 1,000 followers who actually support your business per month?
Per dollar. The breakdown is crazy.
Yeah. And I recognize that being able to see it helps. Like it really helps. It's like, oh, okay, now I'm seeing all of the skills that I've developed, all of the services that I can provide. And it's like, I don't want to provide none of them.
I don't know.
So I'm just going to sit here and keep crafting the step by step framework that I could hand over to somebody for all of the skills, not just one. It wasn't clear to me which skill it should be. It still isn't completely clear. It's getting a little more clear. But I'm seeing that it's a full catalog, it's a full institution. I got a full course load. So I just been creating all of the frameworks as a practice for taking a skill and turning it into a framework. So I know you did it with braiding, but you should easily do it with the other things that you know.
I'm about to teach somebody how to use the cricket next week. That's crazy.
Right. You are?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a course, that's a skill. That's the knowledge. You're about to share the knowledge. It's about to come out of your mouth. You about to talk about it like you've been like as like a scholar.
Mm-hmm.
With no doubt, no question, no second guessing. You about to tell them all of the shortcuts, all of what you would do better, all of the easiest ways, everything that you studied, everything that you've learned, and your system that works right now. You about to teach somebody that you about to teach them for free.
Mm-hmm.
So you about to get that away.
Mm-hmm.
The knowledge, you don't have value on the knowledge yet. Because once you value the knowledge, it's like, oh, this is about to take me an hour. So at the very least, I want to make this amount an hour. This is about to take me 2 hours. If I was selling a course, this one-on-one, this is a private one-on-one lesson. So if you about to give it away for free, now you got to turn it into something that you value. So now you need documentation of the whole thing. Now you need to sit down and take your time and write out your step by step. You need to carve out your time like you would at the Boys and Girls Club. You just got to do it for yourself. You got to come up with your agenda.
That comes before or after or whatever come like whatever makes it more most comfortable.
And it ain't about being comfortable. Growth ain't about being comfortable.
So you would recommend that I do it before?
Wouldn't you do it before if you was at the Boys and Girls Club?
Yeah, I was planning out. That's what you mean.
Yeah. You would map the whole thing out. And mapping the whole thing out is the same thing as productizing your knowledge. And you already got the step-by-step format of how to approach productizing your knowledge based on you doing that with braiding.
So then, even though I don't make money off of this specific one, it still becomes footage and
It,
a
it,
product of my knowledge.
it can become a product of your knowledge right
Of
now.
course.
Yes. You can go live on a platform and get the whole hour or however long you sitting there and take that link and drop that into one of these softwares for people to download or be able to get access to the link. It's a how-to video right now that you about to go shoot and be able to freestyle it off the top of your head. Watch it again and then take notes. But you want to go ahead and get this whole how-to. And you want to think about this on your page.
What all of it?
Because the best product you got is yourself. You don't just do one thing. It don't need to be just one thing. Because when you get to the root of what you're doing, it's like entrepreneurship. It's being an artist. It's being self-employed. Like there is some rooted way to talk about all of what you're doing. And the fact that right now you just went from having a day job to the transition to you a free slave. This need to be communicated. The people out here trying to figure out how to braid and not ever go get a job, or use the cricket maker and never go get a job, they need to hear from you right now. Hey y'all, I'm out here. I'm 2 days in. You could go day one. This is what I did. I just painted my living room. I know you videotaped it. Day two, on my way to my weekly entrepreneurship workshop. That's what I'm saying. This is the process of what your development is the thing that you can share, because then that gets the attention of people who would invest in the knowledge. And if you don't do it now, you'll be waiting on the next opportunity to be able to teach somebody how to use the cricut maker, because eventually what we're talking about is going to make more sense to you.
Right, don't wait till then.
Yeah, don't wait to have to do it again. I was unaware of this when I was in front of all these people at all these schools and all these conversations.
Gotcha.
Right. And I got a lot of footage of a lot of those situations. But I could have been sharing in real time. I would be, however long it's taking me to get here, I'll be that much further along.
We just read that yesterday.
Right. Yeah, every time somebody tap into your time, they're trying to figure out how to get you to share the knowledge that you have. But most of the time, it's through the form of giving you money for the service.
Mm. That's crazy.
Yeah. Did you set up your bank account to your website? Did you fix that?
Mm.
You want to get on that? Because that's just one of the things that said that we don't do, is we don't set up the easiest, most convenient way to create a pot to catch the money. Because you're going to realize that once you set up all of your nets to be able to catch the money, it frees up your mind to be able to focus on what is going to generate the money, because the pot is already set up. So I can send people a pay link. People can pay me through this. People can pay me through that. My bank account set up to the different systems that I'm a part of. So even is as convenient as somebody having Cash App. You know? Yeah, the things that is said is hard for us to do. Those are the things you want to try to do first. Yep, you want to go and set that up. Yep. Once you value the time, you're gonna see the whole world different. Because right now, well, naturally, what happens is we're trained to value money over our time. So we usually are comfortable exchanging time for money and exchanging our knowledge for nothing.
No, it should be. No, I'm trying to shift it to switch it.
Yeah. Because just when you really value the time, even if someone can't afford to pay you for the knowledge, you're creating the best situation for you to be able to benefit off of it. But that means cricket maker need to be on your timeline. You need to be following who teaching cricket maker stuff. See, your whole timeline should be full of all the skills that you've developed. And you should have someone connected to those skills that you appreciate some part of what they do by way of social media. These are the accounts you're supposed to follow. And you're supposed to have a note in your phone that says whatever the skill is. And when it comes to your mind, different things you've learned to accumulate those skills, the different steps, you just jot them down as they come to you. In 2 weeks, you'll have 10 skills that all got 5 to 10 steps. But you should have a skills note. And every time you think of something else that you know that you understand that you can explain to somebody just off the top of your head, you should write that skill down. In 30 days, you will see in your note that you don't value your time. Because that list of skills is going to be a whole list of all of the ways you gave your time away for money.
Mm.
You're going to see everything that you ever got hired for. And then you're going to start to see what people call and ask you for that you give away for free. Because it's a part of you that don't even see the skills that you got or see the knowledge that you have accumulated to develop the skills that you have. You know what I'm saying? So you want to be able to see it. Put it in your phone so you can start to see it. Because you ain't going to be able to ignore it once it's in your phone in a note. You know, that if you printed it, it is, I don't know, 7 or 8 pages. You're like, oh, I understand a lot of stuff. And you take the money that you make when you get hired for your service and you start to get ready to invest it into selling the knowledge connected to the service.
That's the marketing and promotion and
Yep.
business cards and
Yep. Yep.
keychains and whatever else.
Whatever complimentary thing is going to be connected to it. Yep. But more than anything, it's going to be marketing. You ain't going to hesitate to spend $50 on Instagram ads because you know you about to sell something that costs $50. You only got to sell one. But the reach of the audience when you spend $50 is pretty big. And you done already posted a whole bunch of stuff. So you already got feedback on what posts to market the product with.
So a little portfolio mixed with some notes, mixed with everything in there
Mm-hmm.
creates
Yeah.
this thing.
The product that's being developed, one of the products that I'm developing is got to do with self-actualization. Which means Any video that I done posted talking for the last 4 months speaks to self-actualization. So I can just go to the ones that's got the most shares, and then I put the money on that and connect it to the product.
I'm about to downloadable this book. This
Mm-hmm. Yep. And all it's gonna be is the self-actualization framework and me talking to the 10 bullet points on it. So it's gonna be a bullet point. You gotta think about this, self-aware. You gotta be aware. Mindset, emotions, routines and habits, you know? And I'm just gonna talk to each bullet point. And then that's just gonna walk you through
the journey.
the course. Mm-hmm.
How long you been working on that?
What's that? All of this? I started working on this October. It's almost a year. But a year in,
It's a lot to see.
well, yeah, and it's organized itself. It didn't start off organized. It started off like, am I supposed to do this? Am I supposed to sell this? Am I supposed to sell this? I was studying all the different product possibilities. It could be a webinar, it could be a how-to, it could be downloadable, it could be an ebook, it could be a course, it could be a community. And once I realized, oh, it could be any of these things, and the most successful people have figured out how to integrate all of those things, then I just need to go figure out what my message is and figure out what's my deeply rooted message. Because I didn't understand that. I didn't understand exactly what people were asking of me. I just knew I was always in conversations, talking to people about my journey as a person and my journey as an artist. But I didn't understand that the conversations that I was in was about self-actualization. I didn't know the one thing that I could use to label everything that I was talking about. So I didn't know if I was supposed to be talking to artists. I didn't know if I was supposed to be talking to moms. I didn't know if I was supposed to be talking to teachers. I didn't know I was supposed to be talking to young people. Because I feel like I'm talking to all of these people all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Talking to men. So do I make a product for men? Do I make a product for artists? Because somehow it seems like I'm having the same conversations with mothers that I'm having with artists. So what's the umbrella of my discussion? And it went from all these different areas to, oh, it's self-actualization. People trying to figure out how to be the most productive version of themselves possible. Period. So you can be an artist, you can be an entrepreneur, you can be an educator, you can be a young person, you can be an older person. You're trying to figure out how to grow and develop yourself. I can tell you what I've been learning about how to do that. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. In one way, that's universal.
Yep. And I can tell you what I've been struggling with. I can tell you what the people around me struggling with. I can tell you the tips and tricks that I've learned that work. I can tell you the experience that I had. I can tell you all of the stuff that I would tell myself if I could tell the 23-year-old version of me who said, who am I? I could tell myself how to get there quicker than it took me to get there. That's ultimately what our conversations are. That's what I'm always doing. Sharing what I would tell myself if I could go back to accelerate.
The journey.
The journey, the learning. Yeah. Yeah. So that's what you're supposed to do when you're sitting there about to put up a post. Is put yourself in the position of the person who's about to receive the post. What would you tell your younger self in the lane that you're speaking from when you post? The content don't got to change because it just might be the caption that shifts it to that perspective. It might be text that you put on the video to shift it to that perspective. When you get real creative, you're gonna sit there and you're gonna say that you've created, 20 million braids over the last 5 years. You know what I'm saying? And then somebody looking like, dang, you know what I mean? Because think about it, how many braids have you made
I thought that was your back.
over 5 years?
Right, because I was just thinking about all the necklaces.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, get your 5,000 knotlesses up. You feel what I'm saying? You get your 10,000 up. You're gonna have to create 10,000 braids.
To get here?
Yeah.
That's like.
So you only then braided 5 heads, you only 100 in. So just keep going. You know what I'm saying? Comfortably. Got 100 terabytes, 4 million photographs, 500,000 videos, 15 printers, 30 cameras. You know what I'm saying? That. And you have that. You done went through how many bottles of whatever the fuck you use all the time? You know what I'm saying? Like you done blew through 20 bottles of edge control.
Yeah, that.
You know what I'm saying? Imagine if you had a whole bag full of all of the edge control bottles you done went through. That's content. Another one empty. You know what I'm saying?
Another one, thank you.
Yeah.
Bingo.
I was on 4 pages earlier, and all these young ladies is braiding, waiting to be fed. Because when we hustling, we just gonna hustle in the realm of what we know and what we understand. But for the people who going and seeking more information and growing and developing themselves, you can help other people develop. And you can monetize it. So it ain't a bad thing that you teaching somebody how to do the cricket maker next week. Don't think that's what I'm saying. I'm saying, see, that's another area where you can productize your knowledge. You know? Because the world of the cricket maker is humongous. And how many of you is connected to that, helping people understand how to use it?
How many people are sharing the knowledge of it?
No, how many of you?
How many of me?
Is it?
People that look like me? Because there's a lot of white girls. Is that what you mean?
Kinda. But even if it's a black girl, did she connect with you? Right, which means there's room for you. It's a seat open.
I remember when I used to look at her videos, she did not have all these followers. Who's that? Clever Creations by KK. She makes multi-layered cricket designs.
Is that all she do?
HCB layering and pump vinyl expert.
Hmm. Yeah, any of these people that get followed and got followers on social media, the people who follow them can say everything that they do and everything that they're about. And it's never one thing. Do it make you uncomfortable to think that you got to figure out how to allow yourself to share the multifaceted part of you?
Mm-hmm. Cause it's so much I don't know where. I'm gonna finish it. It's so much that sometimes it feel like bad or like confusing or like complex or like a lot. Like I'm supposed to stay in one niche, and then when I do that, I feel like I'm shrinking myself. And then when I'm not doing that, it's like anxiety.
What part is making you anxious?
Um, Not knowing right now at this second how they all relate beside, but
Go ahead
that
and say it.
I was about to say besides me,
Right.
but it does.
That's how they relate. That's all that's needed. Yeah, you should be able to look and say, you should be able to look at that page and see the multi layers. It's like if you're the brand, then it's like you're like Nike. And Nike doesn't just sell one thing. Their message is greatness by way of sports, and they sell all of the complementary components to that. They don't just make tennis shoes. And if you're using your hands and working with your hands, whether you're braiding, whether you're on a cricket maker, whether you're on your iPad, whether you got the camera,
It's a different universal thing.
it's all the same thing. You. You just got a different tool. You just have a different way that you are expressing yourself. But expressing yourself is a consistent part of it.
Hmm.
Right. Yeah, it's not all over the place. It's just being a human being with multiple interests. And you should just do it because you recognize that you're scared to. Yeah, you should force yourself to say, paint my, like what you tell us is what you should be telling everybody. We should be able to just follow your social media page to know what's going on creative and how you are problem solving and strategizing creatively. Everybody should know that you painted the wall, didn't like the color, and now you're repainting it. because this is you getting prepared for the transition that's taking place because you're going from a day job to you out here. You know what I'm saying? And you ain't supposed to be doing it for likes from people. You're supposed to be doing it so you can actually document and so you can witness your growth and development.
That's crazy.
Yeah, you're supposed to be doing it so you can see it. So the fact that you worried about other people and what they're going to see or think and all that kind of stuff, you're not allowing yourself to see it or experiment with it or to try.
Right, and since we did Tuesdays, I feel like that's the most that I'll be able to see in the brain world. Me be freely create without overthinking,
Yeah, which is good.
and then look back at it like a portfolio versus trying to figure it out,
Yeah. Yep.
and then seeing where I see stuff not working or I'm not doing and trying to do that thing.
Yep.
Like more pictures,
Yep.
more slides, more me.
Yeah, because this is ultimately how you figure it out by doing it.
Yeah.
Mm.
Was that an oatmeal cookie from Potbelly?
Mm-mm.
Oh,
Right.
that's oatmeal.
Yeah, it's oatmeal raisin.
I would still want. Yeah, look, I still want
They
these.
have no more chocolate chip. This from North Star. And then they can distribute.
They good as Potbelly.
Yeah, they got a good cookie.
Good cookie. Hey, I was laid off.
So I'm braiding during the week now.
But all I did was open up the days that open up early this summer and the days I was already breaking.
Right.
So y'all better get in here. Better get you one of these. I went live when I did Erica hair, and I got an hour worth of content of me braiding this fucking fall in the back of her head.
That's good.
Yes.
All right. Yeah, we'll tune in next week. Artists and entrepreneurship. Productize your knowledge. Holla.